Well, you immediately caught everybody's attention on Love Island. You have so many fans. I mean, even my hairdresser's like, are you going to get to meet Kaylor?
No, I still ask myself, like, when is my 15 minutes going to be up? But I think that consistency is key, and creating a brand and creating a online presence that people want to follow you from all different aspects. I have people that haven't even seen me on Love Island and they just follow me because they like my TikToks and my content. Leaving Love Island, I had a lot of pressure, like, oh my gosh, everything has to look perfect and like my hair can't have a flyaway and my skin needs to look great. What I've then realized is like those videos will flop. People don't relate to them. So my videos where I'm like unhinged and I'm in bed and I look my worst, honestly, do the best.
You have the door open to whatever you like or are into next. So you haven't really pigeonholed yourself into just one thing.
100%.
I think that full lifestyle integration is so huge.
I'm 23, so moving into my first big girl apartment was a lot, and I think that being vulnerable with my audience and saying, like, I'm living on an air mattress for a week, and then they'll be like, Kaylor, like, can you link that air mattress? It's crazy.
Welcome to More to Say. I'm Amber Vinsbox, founder of LTK, the company that turned creator influence into a global economy. On this show, I sit down with the voices shaping what's next, from trailblazing creators and founders to media leaders and cultural catalysts. We talk candidly about building brands, making hard decisions, and staying relevant in a world that never stops moving. So if you want to understand where business, influence, and culture are going and how to lead the way, well, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I was inspired to create today's episode because so many in the creator economy have moments of fame or stardom, of virality, and then struggle with what to do next. How do you capture that audience, make them your own, and turn it into a business? So today I have Kaylor Martin, who was on Love Island. Audiences absolutely loved Kaylor for her authenticity. She's gonna come and join the show, talk about transitioning off, building a community outside of television, and then the types of content that she finds her audience really connects with and how she's thinking about building the rest of her career. She's been really collaborating with brands that connect with her. She's super authentic, very lovable. I'm so happy to have her today on the show to get her perspective. Well, you immediately caught everybody's attention on Love Island. You have so many fans. I mean, even my hairdresser's like, are you going to get to meet Kaylor? And I'm just so curious. Okay, immediately post-show, like, what happened?
Oh, wow. Well, immediately post-show, I was still stuck in my hotel room without a phone. So I had to leave the villa and be alone for the first time in 2 months. So it was very difficult. Like, the transition was very hard and tricky. And then I finally got my phone and I immediately called my best friend and just said, how bad did I embarrass myself on national television? It was a lot. And then opening my phone, so many notifications, so many missed calls, so many texts. My friends were texting me simultaneously as the show was going on, like updates, even though I was in there not seeing them. So it was just so much. I could go on and on.
How long did they keep you in the hotel room until you got your phone back?
So after the show or before?
After.
So after they gave me 2 days because the episode has to air that I'm leaving before I get my phone back.
Right.
So yeah, those 2 days were really tough. I told the Islanders that left with me my room number, so they run and sneak through the hotel property and to like come in and check on me. So that was good at least, but yeah, it was difficult.
Did you have a post-show plan for yourself, for your business?
Not at all. I had a plan to go back to grad school and work with special needs kids. So I remember seeing all the followers and seeing all the emails for collaborations and all of that stuff. And luckily, I already was signed with a modeling and acting agency. So they made leaving the villa very easy, and they helped me understand how to capitalize on this.
Mm-hmm. Had anyone otherwise, but besides your team, kind of given you coaching about what was possible or like how you should be thinking about the next steps?
Not at all, because Love Island, honestly, like it was a popular show, but it would never had the attention that season 6 had. So, which I'm very lucky and very blessed for that. So yeah, leaving the show, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know how to go about this, and it was really tricky.
Okay, so now what's your groove? Like, what kind of flow are you in? What are you focused on?
Yeah, so that I'm still trying to understand that. I'm 23, so I always had a plan on like how my life would go. Sure. So like I was going to graduate college and then go straight into grad school and then potentially a doctorate program. So, leaving was definitely hard to grasp and to understand what my purpose is now. And I'm still trying to understand that and navigate that. But honestly, now I'm just loving creating content on social media and LTK and really connecting with my followers to see where this may lead. And I find you very inspiring because eventually I don't want to be like in my 40s and making TikToks and TikTok ads. So eventually I'd like to become an entrepreneur and see where that may lead me. Yeah.
I would say that you already are. I think building that
you.
community where you can continue to reach them and taking hold of this moment is so important. There's people who come into kind of fame and virality and have the spotlight on them for different reasons. Reality TV is a great one. And to be able to kind of harness that audience and then keep them with you. We even see, for example, earlier this year, Warner Brothers launched their Bachelor Nation franchise on LTK. And the whole concept was that they wanted to be able to further engage the community. They knew that those people are already there. How do you remain top of mind once like a show or a certain set of like IP is no longer on air? Because you've done so much to win that huge audience. And I think about that, for you, for example, of people are really invested in this story. I mean, my hairdresser is like telling me all about your story and why she loves you. And but then like how do you take that kind of lightning in a bottle and then make it yours ongoing?
Yeah, and I still ask myself, like, when is my 15 minutes going to be up? But I think that consistency is key, and creating a brand and creating a online presence that people want to follow you from all different aspects. I have people that haven't even seen me on Love Island and they just follow me because they like my TikToks and my content. So I think ultimately that just being consistent and connecting with different people from different audiences, whether it's people who drink or people who try to meal prep or need help with styling and cheap finds and thrifting. So I think just hitting those different audiences is key.
Mm-hmm. I saw that you're posting now about 5 times a day on LTK. Like, tell us about like a day in the life. How are you getting that content? How's it come together?
It's so easy. It is so easy, and you guys make it easy because LTK is such an easy app to link, and I am a grandma when it comes to social media, technology. I'm the worst. So I guess even waking up in the morning, they'll say, Kaylor, link your lipstick, link your plates that I just moved into New York apartment. I'm getting plates and dishes for the first time. I didn't even own a fork or a spoon. And they're like, can you link that silverware set? I'm like, actually, I can. And honestly, LTK has like opened up a door for me. They always ask me to link things and I am new to LTK. But once I linked one thing, they'll give me hell if I don't link what earrings I'm wearing, what toothpaste, like everything under the sun. So I'll get DMs like, you didn't link that dress. Are you gatekeeping? Like they'll give me hell. So it also opens up a door for me to even connect with my audience even more, to show them what I'm using and what are my favorite products and all of that.
That approach is very like it's pro fan, right? And one of the things that we talked about on stage today, and even Poppy, Allison, the founder of Poppy, was there. And of course, they've done a ton of creator marketing that was core to their whole strategy. Poppy just sold to Pepsi, and so she was able to tell that founding story. Yeah. And one of the things we discussed was would they work with celebrities or how they think about that. And really the difference between a celebrity online versus a creator is they might also have a huge following, but the celebrity is more of a gatekeeper, right? Like they're posting this styled photo. Right. It's like it's a little bit untouchable. They're trying to set a certain persona, whereas the influencers bring everyone in and they've like brought the walls down and they're sharing the best of. And it's interesting to see how brands are thinking about that and investing more in creator because they are used to getting the plates, the forks, the dress. And so It's so natural when you guide them in other ways.
Yeah. And I do LTK. Like, of course, it's an amazing opportunity for me and my business to compensate off of the things that I'm wearing and all of that. But mostly I do LTK for my audience so they can connect. And also, I mentioned it on stage today. It's been showing brands that like I organically love their product and I'm linking it without them having to pay me for a brand deal or this and that. And I've had people in my inbox, Kaylor, we saw that you linked our blush on LTK and we would love to have a meeting with you to speak about a collaboration. So LTK is more than just compensating off of your links. It's also showing brands that you actually care about their product and love it.
So that's out of a new product that we launched earlier this year. It's called Leaderboard, and we show the brands all the content that's written about them, and they can search it and sort it, whether it's about like traffic or sales or engagement or campaigns. And our goal with that was like find the best people that you want to work with, see who's doing the best job for you, and go further. I'm so happy to hear that that's panning out. And I think you have the absolute right approach. If you create something that's kind of like pro fan, pro follower, that's really what wins audience and it makes it sticky. And really, you want those people who are truly engaging and are coming back day after day. So you've got the right approach. You've also landed some brand deals. You kind of talked a little bit about how your LTK has led to some opportunities, but also everyone loved the cream cheese collab with Pop-Up Bagels. How are you choosing kind of your partnerships right now? There's opportunities. I'm sure your inbox is slammed.
Yeah. I don't say yes to everything. As much as I want to, I can't. I just can't. Because if it doesn't fit for me and my brand, my audience is going to be like, Kaylor, you're just trying to get a bag. Chill, girl. So yeah, it's funny because it kind of goes off of what I just said. I was actually at a music festival and Pop-Up Bagel was there. And I was like, I've heard all about the hype. Let's give it a little taste test. So I tried the Pop-Up Bagel. And what do you know? 2 days later, Pop-Up Bagel was in my inbox for a collaboration. So it's just piggybacking off of those organic videos or just organic, even linking things, I think some creators, sorry, but I'll say it, are stubborn. Even when they receive PR and they're like, I'm not going to link that. I'm not getting a check, or I'm not going to post that. They're not paying me. But come on now, posting a story is not rocket science, honey. So I think ultimately, that's how I landed the Pop-Up Bagel collab. And even I did a collab with Dry Bar, and it's because I was going into Dry Bar every week to get my hair blown out. And they were like, wait, we see Kaylor's into Dry Bar. Let's do a collab. It's organic, and they love it.
I love that. And I think that that's what we're moving into culturally in the creator economy is the more that like we have visibility with each other, right? So the brands are getting more visibility into actually what creators are interested in, then doing more together. I definitely make it a point to, even if you can't see it, whether it's on my LTK or on my social media, like I am tagging that brand in some way so they at least know that I'm crossing, their path or I'm thinking about them.
Right.
It definitely
Shows
brings
that you're
opportunities.
interested.
Truly.
Yeah.
And the native and natural integrations are so important. And then I want to jump back to one thing you said about like the forks. When you're sharing your whole life, other people are going through that thing too, right? So like people your age are starting to look to pick out the plates. They're buying the forks for the apartment. It also means that you have the door open to whatever you like or are into next. So you haven't really pigeonholed yourself into just one thing.
100%.
I think that full lifestyle integration is so huge.
Completely agree with you. Yeah, it was difficult. I'm 23. So moving into my first big girl apartment was a lot. And I think that being vulnerable with my audience and saying like, I'm living on an air mattress for a week. And then they'll be like, Kaylor, can you link that air mattress? It's crazy, but it's just so amazing. And I'm very blessed to like have people that actually care.
How'd you choose New York?
So I lived in LA for a couple months. We filmed a spinoff show called Beyond the Villa, and I lived there, and it just wasn't for me. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so I'm from a very small town of like 5,000 people, and family is really important to me. So living across the country from my family was really difficult, especially at 23. It was my first time ever living alone. So New York just felt easy. It was great for business opportunities, of course, and it's a 1-hour flight to Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh. So
who's in your corner, like keeping you straight and rooting for you at this point?
I would say my friends, my family, and my team. They help me out, and I'm so blessed with such an amazing team that like actually has a heart, and they're not just in it for the money or opportunities for themselves. So I think ultimately that, and I'm very blessed to leave Love Island with a great team already, because I've heard the horror stories of people working with, agencies that just prioritize themselves, or they say yes to everything for them, even if it doesn't fit them, just so they can compensate off these creators. So I think ultimately all of that, and just staying true to me and trusting their opinions over online opinions, or even some people that I meet in the space. So, yeah.
It's tough because people often talk about like hiring a team and delegating and, hiring great people and letting them make choices. And yes, that is all true. And also, it's important to have that sort of level of oversight or approvals,
Of course.
and I think also just being able to think critically, not just fully blind trusting what's going on in the space. Being in this industry now for 15 years, I've seen agents being paid under the table to have their client, do a certain deal, or telling them that this is the right path for them and they're all in on this certain thing. And then that deal dries up and it's like, well, the agent got paid with the creators now almost like out of a job because they abandoned something that was working for them. And so I think it's, and I bring this up for any industry. It doesn't matter if you're working corporate and you have people that you're delegating to and you're blind trusting decision-making, or this is working with, having a creator and being a management team. I think this applies to a lot of people is, it's like, yes, delegate, but make sure that you understand the strategy and the decisions that are being made.
Of course, yeah. And I think even from leaving the villa, we created an email that we were all on together. So any brand deal that's coming in or negotiating or anything like that that's going on, I'm also a part of it. So I can see that on the back end. So yeah.
It's huge. After these last couple of days and so much content, so much information, what stood out to you? What's top of mind leaving LTKCon?
Honestly, just all of the creators that have capitalized on this space and have created, there's so many powerhouse women here at LTKCon, and it's so inspiring for me because leaving the villa, I was telling my parents, I'm going to pursue social media, and they looked at me like I had 3 heads. They were like, what is that? What are you doing on social media? So ultimately just learning from them, and I'm still learning how to be a content creator and learning the algorithm, and then all of these amazing women that have made businesses and created amazing businesses from that and have capitalized on that, and now they are entrepreneurs even more. So I think ultimately that, and I feel so inspired. Like now I feel like I need to have some meetings and all of that, and especially by you, like your story is so inspiring and great. And I don't know if they'll edit this out, but I was saying like, it's so funny because now I see all the affiliate and all the programs and they all copied you. But like that, it's insane.
Yeah, it's
but it's flattering, right? Because it's like, okay, I must have done something right. People were really copying me, but yeah, it's craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can take that out. But
No. It is validating. It can definitely be frustrating. It can be sharpening. It can make you think of your next move and like push you further. And so in some ways, those things have made us just get better at what we do and run faster. And so they're wonderful. And that happens in life. And those are, maybe frustrating things. But ultimately, I heard a good quote that, by the way, we've had about 30 companies that I know of that go around saying we're the next LTK. So it's nothing new, and it happens globally, like everywhere from China to Sweden. It is literally everywhere. But I heard a founder that was actually in an apparel, and someone was asking about someone who had like replicated his company, and he was like, ultimately, he was like, they have no soul as an organization, so ultimately it won't work.
Right.
And that's how I think about this: is like, if all you're doing is copying my talking points, there's a point at which that runs out.
100%. Because you're passionate.
I am. Yeah, we're all in. We're here for a purpose and understand our customer. Okay, 3 tips for people who are starting their journey. I know that you are new in your journey, so it makes it so relevant, of like 3 things that have helped you get better at what you do, being an online personality.
Being you, ultimately. Do not be scared to post. Do not be scared to show the bad, the good, the ugly, because people relate to it. Be consistent. You want to give your followers something to watch every single day so they keep coming back for more. And also finding your niche. And I'm still kind of figuring that out. I don't know what it is. I didn't work years for it, and I'm very blessed to have a platform over just a year, and reach 1 million followers in a year is insane. And I'm so lucky, but just like figuring out what your followers want and feeding that to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, you can obviously see feedback and engagements, but you can also see, I think that the LTK analytics are so interesting because, for example, I love to dress up. Like, I love the over the top stuff. It is so not practical for most people in most situations, including myself. It's an event-based thing. I actually noticed that whenever I post tennis shoes or denim, I sell a ton of it, like way more than any dress I've ever posted or worn or invested in.
Yeah.
And that made me start, triggering to, hey, I need to show the stuff that is the practical everyday, the stuff I'm really wearing. Because it's almost like I have my like wardrobe that I actually wear. And then the stuff that you like photograph for, you know, the event based. But that the analytics really helped me to kind of unpack what people are really here for.
Yes,
so that can
girl,
be so
I
helpful.
feel you on that. And I think leaving Love Island, I had a lot of pressure, like, oh my gosh, everything has to look perfect. And like my hair can't have a flyaway and my skin needs to look great. And what I've then realized is like those videos will flop. People don't relate to them. So my videos where I'm like unhinged and I'm in bed and I look my worst, honestly, do the best. It's insane.
Well, you're very relatable. And I think that's why probably audiences are a piece of why audiences absolutely fell in love with you on TV. So I think you're right to continue to just post and bring them into your world. I think of it as like, this is now your own reality show and that you're playing for them. And so keeping the content pumping out. Any regrets?
No, I wouldn't say that. You know, my experience on Love Island was very emotionally taxing. I was a crier and I messed up and I took this man back that I shouldn't have. But I think I don't regret anything because I've learned so much throughout the last year and grown. And without those mess ups or hiccups, I like literally wouldn't be here today. Yeah. So I wouldn't regret a thing.
It's prepared you.
Yeah.
Kaylor, thank you so much for being here on More to Say. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much for having me.
You can listen to More to Say on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And I'd love to hear from you. Share your comments and questions in the reviews section, or you can reach me at Amber Vinsbox on LTK, Instagram, or LinkedIn.